This is a very disturbing video. I'm sorry to see your country's being hit so far, as hard as it is. I'm wondering if it just it shows as a higher concentration because of the square miles of Britain itself compared to the concentration levels we see here in the United States. Whatever it isn't good. And I posted a comment to your video, and I noticed that when you switch your camera into night mode, those chemtrails look an awful lot like what the fibers that are growing inside people now, what they call Morgellons, looks an awful lot like those fibers. Um, Ideally, I think the perfect way to find out what the hell is going on here is for somebody who has a disposable plane and access to a hazmat level 4 suit to get behind one of these pigs that are spewing this stuff out and capture a sample right directly from the trail itself. And then when you land, burn your plane, your chem. I wouldn't trust it. And get it analyzed at an independent lab. I've had videos on my previous channel, which this is a channel I'm working on now on a playlist here about chemtrails. And there was a lady who went to Good Morning America one time, last year, I believe, and they took a sample from her and sent it to the FBI, and they couldn't match it to anything they have. And they have over 200,000 fiber samples, and it's no match to anything. Also, the little pods with the hinge lid for nanotechnology that's involved. We've had some independent news stations, or rather local, not independent, local news stations go out and get samples after they've been sprayed, and it shows barium and beryllium. But the coloration of these, this and the yellow stuff now, that's turning in, that's a whole different agent being used. It's a good video on YouTube here, and I got to find it. It's about two police officers. They're out on patrol. Something Unsolved Mysteries, I think, is the show that originally aired it. And they're driving in this, excuse the language, snot-like stuff is falling onto their car instead of rain. And the policeman got out. There was two in the car. And they got out of the car, and they were wearing vinyl gloves as they were cleaning this off their windshield, because the windshield wipers wouldn't lift enough of it off, so they're in danger because of the visibility. And that one that was driving ended up in the hospital. I don't know the end results of it, so that's kind of leaving you hanging. But the fact that he was hospitalized, even though he was wearing vinyl gloves, after coming in contact with that stuff. All right, we already know about the DUMBs, the seed banks that they've made. Are they thinking maybe this is something for the depopulation, and that they'll afterwards be able to clean the water and the soil? Are they maybe contaminating the water and the soil intentionally so we cannot harvest our own food? I don't know about the alien thing. I've never seen one, so I don't know if it's terraforming. This is a large-scale engineering project, though. I'll give you that. And there's also going to be a video in my playlist, if I can find it. It shows the inside of one of these chemtrails. So if they're doing this, how are they planning on cleaning it up afterwards when they've dealt with us? I think what people need to start doing is, in your communities, getting together like a co-op for each other's best interest, collecting a sample and having a lab, an independent lab, run an analysis on it. I don't have any money, and the guy that I used to work for in Westbrook, Maine here, who had an environmental lab test soil, water, and air, He sold it to a big company, so my connections there aren't any good anymore. Laser spectrometry uh, and databasing was why I was there. That's the only thing I can think of as far as addressing this issue is for people to get together and pool their money and get some damn samples made and find out what exactly this really is. Independent. That way we know we're not being duped by mainstream media. You could have signed affidavits from everybody that's involved. Yes, we collect this. This is how we collected it. Sterilized containers. No contamination. No cross contamination. This is getting bad, people. We need to get a handle on this. I don't know if the yellow has got the smart dust in it too. This is uh, this is what I addressed one time before. They're like 20 years ahead of us as far as their technology and what we know. So those of us who are not in the government loop anymore can only speculate as to the nature of what's going on. I'd like to get some response on that. Maybe people can start coming together and pooling their money and finding out what this stuff is. And once the environment as well as us, besides putting us in the hospital or killing us. Thank you for having the patience to listen to this video. Just looking for answers. I guess we all are, aren't we? God bless us all.